Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to week 2 of season 7 of the Lyons Den Quiz League. Last week ended like this. I ended up in first place despite only getting 2 correct on the first quiz, but the rest of the quizzes went very well. I got at least 5 on all of them, which was super great. So, very solid start to the season. But we'll see how this week goes, starting with quiz number 1 by Benny. General knowledge quiz. Wait, this isn't Geo and Culture. Starting with question 1. In the Bible, 1 Kings chapter 10 tells of which African woman's visit to King Solomon, discusses how impressed she was with Solomon's wealth and knowledge, which gave birth to a child of Solomon's who became King Menelik I. I have no idea. I'm going to say Ruth, because that is a person who exists in the Bible. I can name maybe, 3 to 5 biblical women probably, but I do not know anything about the Bible, and I really don't care, to be quite honest, so I'm not going to get it right, and I'm okay with that. Question 2. King Philip II of Spain is remembered for a variety of reasons, one of which being his support of academic and artistic endeavors, including the cultivation of a vast library at what complex built during Philip's reign near Madrid and designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I think this is what El Escorial is, because I'm pretty sure this is quite close to Madrid. Other thoughts included like Alhambra, for example, but that's not close to Madrid. I'm pretty sure that this is El Escorial because this is just a famous thing that is near Madrid, but yeah, not sure. But I'm fairly sure. I really hope that there isn't another similar thing near Madrid, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. Anyway, question 3. Before Norway's Queen Maud married into the Norwegian royal family, she was a member of the English royal family. Her father was the future Edward VII, but when Maud was born, he held what title while his mother, Queen Victoria, was on the throne? So presumably he was like heir to the throne. I got another thing I know absolutely nothing about is the British royal family. If you are, it's not just going to be like Prince. It's going to be like Prince of Wales or like Duke of like Sussex, Devon, Staffordshire, or some crap like that. I have no idea. I'm going to say Prince of Wales because I don't think it's just going to be like Prince. And the Prince of Wales is a thing. And I don't know, if your mother's on the throne, you are a prince, right? So best guess I have, to be 100% honest, but I don't know. And again, just like the Bible, I do not care even a little bit about the royal family, so I'm kind of okay getting questions like this wrong. Question 4. The artist Annie Clark, known professionally as St. Vincent, created a cover of Lips Inc.'s song Funky Town, written for the most recent movie starring what creatures, who appeared in 6 films, 2 of which are spin-off prequels. This is, of course, the Minions. Took me maybe 15 seconds to think of this, but, it's like, yeah, there are 2 Minions movies. There are somehow 6 Despicable Me themed movies now, but these are the Minions. Question 5. Guinea pigs are arguably the cutest members of the rodent family, but they're nowhere near the biggest. That title is held by the capybara, which is native to South America and notable for being the largest rodent. And finally, question 6. In Terry Gilliam's film Brazil, what actor played the handyman and terrorist Archibald Tuttle? His other roles include other characters I've never heard of. I'm going to guess Harrison Ford and move on with my life because I have no idea. And yeah, as for what to enhance, surely I go for El Escorial because it seems difficult and the only difficult one I actually feel confident about. So 2 it is. And we will see. It's actually the Prince of Wales. I'll take that. I will take that. 4 out of 6. I'm fine with that. Robert De Niro. Never heard of any of the characters, so that probably wasn't happening. And the Queen of Sheba. Sheba? I have no idea who you are, but fair enough. 4 out of 6. That's fine. Honestly, that was a pretty difficult quiz, so I'm okay with it. And we head into quiz number 2. Another general knowledge quiz, this time by Looney. What rock band sings the tautology Only Time Will Tell If We Stand the Test of Time in their song Why Can't This Be Love? The band's name is also partially self-referential, as it is the surname of its guitarist and drummer, but not the singer or bassist. So I thought about this for like a minute, and then I thought of Van Halen. And I think this makes some sense because I know that Eddie Van Halen is the guitarist of Van Halen, and I'm pretty sure there's at least one more person named Van Halen. But the singer is David Lee Roth, who's notably not named Van Halen, so I think this is the best guess I'm going to come up with here. If it's wrong, so be it, but I kind of like the guess. Question 2. The world is everything that is the case. Opens Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus, a work by what philosopher? His beetle-in-the-box thought experiment suggests that private languages are incoherent, as he discussed in Philosophical Investigations. This is Ludwig Wittgenstein. This is just kind of quiz bowl, stock clue type stuff. This is just like, I don't know a damn thing about Wittgenstein other than that he wrote these two things and also served in World War One, I believe. If you asked me anything about anything substantial about his actual philosophy, I would not be able to tell you. But that's sometimes what Quiz Bowl is. Sometimes you memorize what people wrote what things and you don't actually learn what the things are. So anyway, this is Wittgenstein. Question 3, name the 2 cities whose NHL teams are named after words whose meanings are totally or partially defined as a person from Canada. This is the Canucks, the Vancouver Canucks, and the Canadiens of Montreal. So this is Vancouver and Montreal. Very creative team naming. We're just going to call ourselves Canadians. Two separate teams decided they would do that. Question 4, referring to an ISBN number is somewhat redundant since the N already stands for number. ISBN are 10 or 13-digit numbers used to uniquely identify books. When I was buying books for school, for example, they would often, well, an easy way to search for books would be to use the ISBN. Question 5. Comical tautologies are often called La Palissades after Jacques de la Palisse, whose epitaph is often misread as saying if we weren't dead, he would still be alive. La Palisse notably died for France during the 1525 Battle of Pavia, which he fought against what Habsburg Holy Roman Emperor. This emperor, the fifth of his name, outlawed Martin Luther at the Diet of Worms. So, I'm not sure. I was trying to think of Holy Roman Emperors. The ones that I thought of were Frederick the Great, Frederick Barbarossa, and I know there are a bunch of them named Charles, and there might be some, there's Charlemagne, might be some Phillips, or is that just, I don't know. There are a lot of kings and emperors and whatnot, but I know for a fact that there were a lot of Holy Roman Emperors named Charles, so the fact that there are 5 of them makes me think that Charles is a reasonable guess, but if you asked me this cold and said, what was the emperor who did these things? I definitely wouldn't have been able to tell you. So hopefully that's the answer, but I don't know. And finally, Sigmund Freud's surname, which means joy, is particularly apt given that he developed the pleasure principle. I can't talk today. Specifically, he defined the pleasure principle as being a pleasure-seeking drive that underlies which one of the 3 fundamental parts of the human psyche. I don't know. I know that the 3 are the id, the ego, and the superego, but much like Wittgenstein, I've never bothered to learn anything about what those things actually are. I just know that they are the 3 Freud things, but I don't know. It's one of them. I don't know which one is pleasure-seeking. I'm going to say it's the ego. And be wrong, probably. 2/3 chance that I'm wrong. And again, I'm okay with it. But at least I will finally possibly learn what one of them is. As for what to enhance, it has to be Wittgenstein because I don't think that's easy. It's just something that I know from Quiz Bowl. And the rest is, the rest is probably a little more doable. So I will enhance number 2. I will click all the things with cars in them. It might have a car in it, but I'm not going to click it because normally if it's ambiguous, you're supposed to not click it, I think. There we go. And it's the id because of course it is. Van Halen's right though. Charles is also right. Oh, wait. No, Charles is... Surely I can... Oh, I didn't read the question very closely, but surely I can just say Charles, right? Because it said the 5th of his name, so it's implied that he's the 5th. So I think I can just say Charles. That should be okay. I should have said Charles 5, but it should be okay. Anyway, 5 out of 6, right? Yeah, I'll take that. I'm fine with that. I mean, I don't know what the id, the ego, and the superego actually are, but apparently the id is the pleasure principle one, so good to know. Quiz 3, pop culture. This quiz has a very high average score, which is nice because, well, it means I can actually get a few pop culture questions. Number 1, what movie is centered around a woman named Marion Crane who flees town after stealing $40,000 from her workplace, but then she gets killed in the shower? This is Psycho. This is probably going to have a really high get rate because the killing in the shower thing is super famous. Question 2, in a dramatic genre shift, what artist's 2021 album New Blue Sun is mostly instrumental album on which he plays the flutes? And then, let's see, he worked as part of a group which made the albums Stankonia and Lyons, which ATL makes me think this person's from Atlanta, but I don't. I know that there are a lot of rappers from Atlanta. Um, I don't know which ones they are. I don't know anything about rap artists, to be honest. So I got nothing here. I will say LL Cool J because that is a person. And yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky. Question 3. Which country was England's opponent in the quarterfinals of the 86 World Cup, which caused controversy for a goal that was scored after the ball was illegally handled, which made the difference in the game? That is, of course, Diego Maradona's hand of God. So Argentina is the country they were playing against. Question 4. During a 1992 SNL musical performance, an artist tore up a photo of an important world figure in protest of reprehensible actions taken by members of the figure's institution, which angered millions or even billions of people around the world. Name either the artist in question or the man whose picture she tore up. Be specific. So this one I thought about for like quite a while because I was like, okay, if you tore up a picture of a person and it angered possibly billions of people, that's got to be a pretty prominent person. So I was like, okay, who's a person who would be that well known and respected by that many people around the world? My first thought was like the leader of a big country like China or India or something like that. And then I realized, wait a second, what if it's like the Pope? Because the Pope, obviously leader of the entire Catholic Church, a lot of people know the Pope. A lot of people respect the Pope. So if you tore up a picture of the Pope on television, you'd probably get some heat for it. So that's my best guess. I don't know. I've never heard of this actual incident, but I'm going to say it is Pope. And it says be specific, which makes sense because you have to name which Pope. I'm going to guess it's John Paul II. It's not Francis, obviously. I don't think it's Benedict XVI. And I think John Paul II was Pope for a while, so hopefully it's him, but it might be a different one. Yeah, question 5. Throughout the video game Portal, the player is guided by the disembodied voice of GLaDOS, who promises what reward if the player completes all the game's training rooms. But then the computer turns evil, and the protagonist discovers writing, which reveals that the reward is a lie. This is the only thing I know about Portal, is that the cake is a lie, because this is a really famous phrase, I guess. There was a question before that was asking me to name GLaDOS, and I had absolutely no idea. But all I know about Portal is that the cake is a lie, so there you go. And question 6. Benny audibly exclaimed, "What?" on the night of February 1st. I did too, to be honest. I'm not even NBA. I don't care at all about the NBA. Like, I don't watch the NBA. And I was still shocked by this because it's completely insane. But the biggest trade in NBA history was a trade between the Mavericks and the Lakers that sent Luka Doncic to the Lakers and Anthony Davis to the Mavericks. And yeah, that certainly shocked the basketball world when it happened. So yeah, as for what to enhance, I don't know, 3 maybe? I mean, I think it's easy, but maybe anyone who doesn't know sports wouldn't know it. But then again, if you don't know sports, you probably wouldn't know 6 either. You know, man, the hand of God is really famous, isn't it? If you don't know sports, you know what? Honestly, I'm going to enhance 6 because I feel like a lot of people playing this quiz just don't know anything about the NBA. Like, if you're American or you follow the NBA at all, you're going to know this, but there have been basketball questions in the past that have played surprisingly hard. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and enhance question 6 here. Yeah, I think I'm good with this. What are the odds that I get this wrong? Like 100%? Knew it. Dude, you are actually trolling me. So this one and this one are correct. However, I think you're supposed to not get it correct. You're supposed when there's like a little bit, it actually doesn't count. I'm starting to learn the meta for these, but it's stupid. Like that they have motorcycles, so like why would that not be counted? Anyway, Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, Cake, Pope John Paul II, Argentina, Psycho, Andre. Who the hell is Andre 3000? I have no idea who this man is, but okay. 5 out of 6 is fine by me. I was never getting question 2. And yep, that'll work. I'm glad I reasoned out the Pope question correctly. So we will head to question 4, which is all about eyes. I kind of like this quiz. I think it's really interesting. The people pictured here are the 4 most recent holders of what office? Pictures are arranged chronologically with the current holder at the bottom. So the one at the bottom is Antonio Guterres. Above him is Ban Ki-moon. Above him is Kofi Annan. And above him, I believe, is Boutros Boutros-Ghali. These are Secretary General. Is it hyphenated? I don't know. Of the UN, United Nations. These are just, I don't know. That's just who these guys are. I mean, I recognize their faces just because they're famous. Secretary General gets a decent amount of attention. Question number 2. The pictures seen below were taken from stills of what movie? This is, of course, The Silence of the Lambs. Absolutely phenomenal movie. If you have not seen it, absolutely go do. It is so good. But man, Lecter's eyes, so like when they zoom into Lecter's eyes during that conversation scene, oh man, it's so good. It's so good. Everybody watch Silence of the Lambs. Question 3, what first name do the people seen below share? The obvious one, I think, is the middle one, which is John Cena. The one on the top is John Boyega, I believe. And then I think it's John Legend on the bottom. But these are definitely all Johns. Question 4, these photos below appeared on the cover of what magazine? Unfortunately, I have no clue on this one. I don't recognize any of the people. I just don't know who they are. So I'm going to say Time, because Time Person of the Year maybe is what's happening. I don't know. It could be Life. It could be Sports Illustrated. It could be any magazine, realistically. But I'm going to go with Time. Question 5. What is the technical term for the condition seen below? This is heterochromia. The guy in the bottom is Max Scherzer, famous baseball pitcher with heterochromia. I have no idea who the person on the top is. And finally, we head to question 6. Pictured below are half of the members of which band? Not sure, but to be honest, the one on the left, to me, really looks like Adam Levine. So I'm going to say Maroon 5, because I'm pretty sure Maroon 5 has 6 members, which is weird, but that's just one of the quirks about them, I guess. We did see them in concert a long time ago, back when they were, I think it was the tour for maybe their 3rd album, but anyway, I believe they had 6 members, and I don't know, guy on the left looks like Adam Levine. If it's not, tough, but that's my best guess. And I think I might enhance Silence of the Lambs. It's kind of like you know it or you don't, but maybe it's easier than I think, but I don't know. It doesn't seem that obvious to me, so I'll probably go with 2. I'm not sure that Maroon 5 is correct. Heterochromia feels a little easy. 4, I don't know. John is just easy because of John Cena, I think. And then the UN one, same thing. So, yeah, I will enhance question 2. And we will see. It is Maroon 5. Nice. Okay. John, it is Time. Let's go. 6 out of 6. Huge. Wait, that was Taylor Swift? Bro. I did not recognize. How was that Taylor Swift? Wait, Elon Musk? Bro. There's no way. I know what all 3 of those people look like, and I did not recognize any of them. Like, what? That's crazy, actually. I can't believe that none of those faces rang a bell, because the rest of them are just like, yeah, that's John Cena, that's John Boyega, that's Adam Levine. But I didn't think that's Elon Musk. I didn't think that's Taylor Swift. That's kind of wild. Okay, well, Time was the right guess, I guess, so I'll take it. And that is 6 out of 6. Very, very fun quiz. Quiz 5. Wow, we're going very quickly through these. I mean, it's fine. I don't have too much more to say, and I have somewhere to be after this, so yeah. All right. Anyway, quiz 5. Magyarobb is a portmanteau term for a small community of Hungarian descent who, due to their ancestors' migrations as part of the Ottoman Empire, now reside in what region? Defined by a transnational section of the Nile, which is home to the Kingdom of Kush, and is the namesake of a species of giraffe. So the only species of giraffe I can name are Rothschild and reticulated, neither of which make any sense. So the giraffe clue isn't going to help me, unfortunately. The only thing that's going to help me, I mean, Arab, right? Magyarobb. So we're talking about like the northern part of the Nile, the part that goes through like Egypt, Sudan, and then once it gets beyond there, we're not really in Arab territory anymore. So if we're talking about a transnational region, my thought is like it kind of has to be like Egypt and Sudan, probably. My first thought was like Darfur, maybe, but Darfur is only in Sudan, as far as I know. The only transnational region I can think of between Egypt and Sudan is Nubia, which I don't know, because defined by, it's like defined as part of the Nile. I don't know if it could make sense. I'm worried like Nubian giraffe, like that could be a thing. Nubia, I just know Nubia as being, again, kind of an ancient kingdom, which makes sense, and also it has a bunch of pyramids. But like, I don't know. I'm just not confident that this is the answer, but I thought about it for a while, and I can't think of any other transnational region on the Nile that makes any sense at all. So, I mean, I hope it's not like the Halaib Triangle or something random like that, but Nubia, I think, is just the best guess I have. Question 2. The Springdale Atoll refers to a community of thousands of Marshallese living and working for Tyson Foods in what U.S. state's town of Springdale. This state is also home to the headquarters of Walmart and the creator of Diamond State Park. So my first thought here was Utah because Gingy's shouted out Springdale, Utah at the Americas Regionals. But I think this is Arkansas because Walmart, I'm pretty sure, is headquartered in Arkansas. And creator of Diamonds, like Arkansas has like diamonds on their license plates and stuff. So I'm pretty sure this is an Arkansas thing. Question 3, an annual festival called Japan Days celebrates what German city's significant population of Japanese people, which has been growing since the 60s. This fashion capital of Germany is also known for originating electronic music pioneers Kraftwerk. I want to say it's just Berlin. Like, I don't know, but I feel like, isn't there some kind of like dance EDM genre that came out of Berlin? Or am I completely making that up? I'm not sure. I feel like that's a thing, but I don't know. Fashion capital of Germany. I don't know. I don't think it's like Frankfurt or Hamburg, but beyond that, it could be literally anything. So I'm going to say Berlin, but I don't know. Both the flag and crest of Saint-Pierre and Miquelon feature the flag of what ethnic group? The word Barachois, a type of lagoon found in eastern Canada, derives from these people's word Baratxoa. So this is the Basque people. The Basques are, I mean, yes, there is a Basque flag on the left side of the flag of Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon, and also Baratxoa is just a very aggressively sounding or Basque sounding word. Very, very cool language that you see sometimes in northern Spain. Question 5, the largest population of Civil War fleeing Lebanese immigrants in Africa is in what country? Those immigrants live mostly in this country's capital, its largest city, and its city of Bouaké. This country is also known for growing the most cocoa out of any country. So this is Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast, either way. I mean, I usually refer to it as Cote d'Ivoire, although I can't type diacritics on this keyboard. But anyway, you get the idea. The largest city is Abidjan on the coast. The capital is Yamoussoukro, and then Bouaké is the third largest city in the country. And finally, question 6. After the unsuccessful 1871 Mokrani revolt in Algeria, the arrested men were sent to a variety of prisons. The ones who were sent the furthest ended up in what territory? Today, the 15,000 descendants of those Algerians of the Pacific are among the 200,000 plus people living on its largest island of Grande Terre. So, thought about this one for a while, and I only have one reasonable answer to this, and it's New Caledonia. I don't know the name of the largest island of New Caledonia. I thought it was called New Caledonia. It's not, apparently. But I feel like this has to be the answer because we're in the Pacific. Grande Terre sounds French, and the only other French territories in the Pacific are like French Polynesia, which that would be Tahiti, so that's wrong. And then like, I don't know, like Wallis and Futuna and maybe a couple other random ones like that. But I can't think of another really big one. So I feel like New Caledonia is really the only option here because 200,000 is kind of a lot of people. So, yeah, that is my conclusion there. As for what to enhance, I don't feel good enough about Nubia. Arkansas feels pretty gettable with the Walmart. Basque is gettable. I might enhance 6 because it seems not super obvious. Maybe it is, though. I don't know. Enhancing questions like this in a geography server is kind of risky. Like, I feel like maybe 3 is a better one, but it's like I don't know the answer, so I just don't feel good about it. Nubia, man, I kind of want to go for Nubia, but I'm just not sure. Like, it could be something else, so I think I'll enhance number 6. And we'll see. We will see. Nubia, yep. Okay, Magyar and Arab, yeah. Oh. It's not a portmanteau of Magyar and Arab, but actually Magyar and Ab, the Nubian word for tribe. That's fascinating. Because I immediately assumed it was Arab. So I was like, if we're on the Nile, we have to be in the north. But I guess it technically could have been like, Sudan or South Sudan. or, you know, it could have been further down, like Uganda or some other place that the Nile goes. I assumed it was Arab, so I thought we had to be north. So I got a little lucky there, maybe, but Nubia was the right thing. Arkansas. Dusseldorf. Dang. Okay, I thought there was some kind of Berlin EDM thing, but I might be making that up. Basque, Cote d'Ivoire, New Caledonia. 5 out of 6 on the geo quiz. I'm okay with that. Dusseldorf wasn't much of a geo question anyway, so or at least less so than a lot of the other ones. So yeah, kind of okay with how that went. I don't think I was going to get Dusseldorf unless I just randomly guessed it. All right, quiz number 6. This is a science quiz. Summer tourists in Mexico's Volcano Belt region may visit a biosphere reserve dedicated to viewing the migration of what specific animals, which feed on milkweed and are a common case study for malaria mimicry, along with a related viceroy species. I think this is just the monarch butterfly because, excuse me, I was doing a daily subdivision write-up probably a month or two ago about, I think it was Michoacan, and there was a picture I posted of a biosphere reserve in the volcanic part of Mexico that had a lot of monarch butterflies. I remember specifically posting a picture that had like a ton of butterflies in it. So, yeah, kind of topical, kind of something I've been looking at quite recently, but I think that yeah, I think this makes perfect sense. I mean, related viceroy species, if this is the monarch species, like it all just kind of works. So yeah, monarch butterfly it is. Question 2, some plants engage in long distance seed dispersal when animals eat their fruits and excrete the seeds elsewhere. This behavior is an example of what type of symbiotic relationship where both organisms involved benefit. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I thought both organisms involved benefit was the definition of a symbiotic relationship. So type of symbiotic relationship is kind of rude. The best guess I could come up here is mutualism, because I think this is a word that exists in like biology, ecology, etc. So like I think this is a thing. I just don't know if it's the right thing, but it kind of sounds like the right idea. So hopefully that's what it is. But yeah, I would have just said symbiosis, so that's kind of annoying. Question 3. A common modern strategy to model the migration of an individual animal is a Lagrangian model based on a random walk, a process that follows an agent taking random steps. A well-known type of random walk is what type of random motion, whose namesake first theorized it while watching pollen grains move in water. So the pollen grains thing is the famous thing, but this is Brownian motion. This is just, I don't know, Einstein won a Nobel Prize for a paper on it. It's just kind of a famous thing, but the pollen grains moving in water is kind of the sort of stock clue for this. So this is just what Brownian motion is. Question 4. A 2017 paper found that diel vertical migration, a type of migration regularly undergone by plankton in oceans and lakes, is mediated by what phenomenon? In humans, it is primarily mediated by temporal differences in the pineal gland's release of melatonin. So my first thought was like sleep, but I don't know. I read more closely and it's like temporal differences in the release of melatonin. So like melatonin is the hormone that regulates sleep as far as I'm aware. So like temporal differences is like it's releasing more at certain times and less at other times, and it's like phenomenon. I don't think mediated by sleep makes any sense really anyway. So my thought was that it's like if we're talking about like the fluctuations in like how much melatonin is released, I thought it could be like the circadian rhythm, because that's like the thing that, you know, it's like whatever, your body runs on 24-hour cycles or whatever the heck it is. That's at least the basic idea behind it. So I thought like melatonin being released more at certain times and less at other times, maybe that's just what the circadian rhythm is. But not really sure. Do plankton do that? I don't know. It could be something entirely different, but this is just the best thing I could come up with after a little while of noodling on it. Question 5. Animals aren't the only things that migrate. Planets also do. The Grand Tack hypothesis suggests that after its formation, which planet migrated inward to a distance of 1.5 AU before migrating back outward to settle at its current distance of 5.2. So this is annoying because I know what an AU is, and I kind of understand what's going on here, but I have no idea how to know which planet it is. Like, I don't have a very good sense for how far away things are from each other in the solar system. The astronomical unit, AU, is defined as the average distance between the Earth and the Sun. So the Earth is 1 AU away from the Sun. So it's like, what is 5 times as far from the Sun as the Earth is? That's what the question is. It's not going to be Mars because Mars is a place that we have reached with rovers and stuff, and there's no way it's 5 times the distance. Then there's a massive gap because there's the asteroid belt, and then you hit the gas giants. The question is, which gas giant is it? I kind of am tempted to just go for Jupiter because it feels like 5.2 isn't that far, and it's like the gas giants are just far away. Like the solar system just gets big, and the asteroid belt exists. So I'm thinking like the asteroid belt takes up a lot of space when you look at diagrams of the solar system, but they're probably not normally to scale because if they were, then the far ones would be really, really far out. So I don't know, but I think I'm gonna say Jupiter, and I'm gonna be sad when it's Saturn or even Uranus or Neptune. But I don't know. I wish there was. I don't know. I don't know if there's a clue I'm missing, like the Grand Tack thing maybe is something, but this is just a guess, and I don't really know how to narrow this question down any further, which is sort of annoying. But anyway, I'm gonna go Jupiter. And finally, question 6. In 2014, fans of space colonization were excited by the discovery of an exoplanet that seemed to be more habitable to humans than any other found so far. It orbits a star named after what astronomer whose laws of planetary motion describe the shapes of planetary orbits. This is, of course, Kepler's laws of planetary motion. I guess I can say his first name, doesn't really matter. But I think Kepler 22b is the famous exoplanet. I'm not sure about that, but it's definitely named after Kepler. Anyway, what to enhance here? I don't know. I really don't know, actually. I don't feel great about a lot of my answers here. I think I go with... Do I go with 1 or maybe 3? How well known is Brownian motion? Like, I don't know how famous that is. Viceroy's, like, how guessable is the monarch butterfly thing? I don't know. People don't read my subdivision posts most of the time, so I don't know if they're going to learn it from that. That seems kind of difficult, no? Like, that seems kind of difficult. I feel like Brownian motion is more knowable, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know. I wouldn't have known the monarch butterfly thing before doing that specific research, so I'm going to enhance 1, but I don't know. Might not be the right call. There's 1 over there, but I don't think it counts. Yeah. Kepler, Jupiter, circadian rhythm. Oh my god, beautiful. Are you kidding me? Let's go. 6 out of 6. That's huge. Circadian rhythm and mutualism were correct. And Jupiter? Are you kidding me? The exoplanet is 186F. Tough. I was wrong about which one it was. Okay. Wow. I can't believe that all those guesses were right because I didn't feel very good about any of them. They all felt like decent. It was like, yeah, this definitely could be correct, but I didn't feel great about any of them. Like mutualism, I knew was a thing, but like, is it that thing? Is it Jupiter? Is it Saturn? Et cetera, et cetera. So very, very happy with the result of that quiz. This has been definitely a solid start to the season. I don't know if I could win a regular season, but maybe this is my chance because I've definitely had a couple really nice quizzes so far. All right, finally, quiz 7. The earliest known wheels dating to the 4000s BCE were used for what purpose? Unlike wheels used for transport, the wheels used for this purpose were laid with their flat sides parallel to the ground, as they are today when used for this purpose. A description is acceptable. My first thought was that thing you get on at the playground that like spins you and makes you dizzy because that's like a sideways wheel. It's obviously not that. I don't know what this is though. Like I don't really know what's going on. I'm gonna say like agriculture. Like you could use it to like spin like crops or something maybe. But to be honest, I don't know. And I'm kind of at a loss for this one. So I thought about it for a while, didn't come up with anything other than agriculture. So we're going to go with that. Question 2 was the name given to the venues in ancient Greece that hosted chariot races. They get their name from the fact that horses were a center point of most events held in them. I believe this is what a hippodrome is. Hippo means horse, like hippopotamus means like horse. What does it mean? Horse something? Hippocampus is like horse fish. Anyway, hippo means horse basically. So that's what's going on here. Question 3, the ancient Romans added wheels to what siege weapons, which actually added to these weapons' range. As the wheels allowed the weapon to rock back and forth while it was in use, they're distinguished from a similar weapon because they use torsion, or a similar stored force, to fire projectiles rather than real-time manpower or gravitational force. I don't know. My thought is that it's like either a catapult or a trebuchet. The problem is I don't know which is which. I don't know the difference between them. I don't really know how they work, which is a bit of a problem. I just know that they're things that launch things really far, which are siege weapons. So, yeah, that's that's about the insight I have on that. Um, do I go catapult? Do I go trebuchet? I don't know. Distinguish from a similar weapon? Is going to be one being distinguished from the other? I'm going to go trebuchet because I feel like the trebuchet is a more advanced thing. Like, distinguish from a similar, it's like they use a more advanced method, and the trebuchet, I think, came after the catapult. So, problem is, did it come after the Romans? I don't know. If it's a catapult, what is it being distinguished from? I also don't know. Basically, I have no idea. Is it a slingshot? I don't know, man. I got nothing. I'm going trebuchet. Question 4. The spoked wheel symbol in the middle of India's flag is a Buddhist symbol called the Dharma Chakra that was adopted by what Mauryan emperor who converted to Buddhism after conquering the kingdom of Kalinga in bloody fashion? The Mauryan emperor who famously converted to Buddhism, I believe, is Ashoka. He's the guy who wrote the rock edicts and stuff. Anyway, Ashoka is the Buddhist guy. So pretty sure this is Ashoka Maurya. Question 5. The addition of rubber to wheels of carriages and wagons, which cushioned the ride for those vehicles' riders, was made possible due to Charles Goodyear's invention of what scientific process, which involves adding sulfur or other chemicals to rubber and heating, which strengthens the rubber tremendously. I think this is called vulcanization. I hope. I hope I'm not confusing it with something else, but Vulcan means, Hephaestus means hot, which makes sense given the whole heating thing, and I think vulcanization is just the tire thing that you do, but I'm not 100% sure. But it feels right. Finally, question 6. Who was the designer of the massive 80-meter wheel built in the Chicago area in late 1892 and early 1893? Honestly, if you asked me where the first Ferris wheel was built, I'm not sure I would have said Chicago, but like I just wouldn't have known, but surely, right? Like a giant wheel built probably for the World's Fair, I imagine, is what's going on during this time period. Kind of just fits perfectly, realistically. And I think Ferris wheel is definitely named after a guy, Ferris Bueller, obviously. Duh. So, yeah, that should hopefully be the answer. And finally, as for what to enhance, I got to go for Ashoka because that definitely seems harder than the rest of them, at least the ones that I am confident on. So, making pottery. Dang. That makes sense. A pottery. Makes sense. It does. And of course, there's freaking catapults. Damn it. I think the trebuchet probably came later. Like, was that like a more of a medieval thing than a Roman thing? I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew what siege weapons were existent at what times, but I just don't. I really don't. And I thought the way the phrasing of the question worked made me think it was like trebuchets are an innovation on catapults, but not knowing specifically how these things work definitely came back to bite me there, so that was a little unfortunate, but 4 out of 6 is fine. Vulcanization was right. Hippodrome, Ferris, and Ashoka. So honestly, I still think that was a very, very solid week of quizzing. And yeah, hopefully the standings at the end reflect that, but I'm definitely happy, I think, with my performances overall. So yeah, that's going to be it for me for now, but I will see you guys in a second, and we will see how I did. All right, here for a quick recap of week number 2. I'm so sorry that this video is going out as late as it is. Well, I mean, you guys have probably figured out by now that I'm really bad at getting videos out on time, but I'll hide the webcam and such so you can see. I finished in first place for week number 2, and I actually broke the 40-point mark, which is super awesome. So a crazy, crazy start to the season after finishing... Was I first as well in season 1? Or week 1? Yeah, I was. That's nuts. I'm not going to spoil weeks 3 and 4, because they've already happened, as you can probably see at the bottom of the sheet, but I will get those videos out as soon as I can. But for now, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for week 3. Until then.